18.04 EC2 instance, because we may need it for this lab. T2 macro would be more than sufficient for this lab. It would be sufficient. Security group, I'll be using existing one. I think this one would be fine. Perfect. After that, I'll launch an EC2 instance. Kent Learning, Mumbai, fine. So guys, have you created this one? So Shiva, have you created your EC2 instance? I'm having some issue. I'm not able to hear anything. Okay, I'm having some sound issue. I'm not able to hear anything. Okay. So whatever other guys, are you able to hear me? Okay. So Vijendra, I think you may have to validate your device. Okay. So you can see, like I have already installed. I have already created my EC2 instance, and that is 1.18.04. And now I'll be installing Docker container. And for the sake of simplicity, I have added the script here only. Let me close each and everything from here. Lot of if you see here, I have already added this script. So in this, we just need to perform first step like this one. Once it's done, then you may have to perform this step. See, this is the single line of script. Using this, you may be able to install Docker inside your Ubuntu 18.04 machine using single line command. So technically,
You
this
are
is
now
just
unmuted.
a script, shell script. If you see here, if you go to this detail, you would find it is nothing but a shell script. So what exactly we are doing here, without downloading this file, we are accessing, we are installing all the script or relate. Means like in order to Docker, we may have to perform some steps. So these are the steps that they have, like Docker. They have this is the official document. I have copied this code from official document. So the Docker is performing this kind of a script by themselves. They are keep updating it as per the. So only we need to do it here. We'll have to simply run this command, and it we will be able to install Docker inside this computer. So let's say if I write sudo su cd. Now if I run this one, so what will happen? It will install Docker in our computer by using single command. So guys, have you done it, guys, or are you doing it? What is the use of first command? Okay, so the first command, as I told you, in fact we did it multiple times. Using the first command, we are able to configure local column. Like uh, multiple time we have performed this step. Means in order to avoid local issues like UTF-8 issues and all, we used to do it for whenever we used to create an EC2 instance. At that time we were running this command. The same thing we are doing it here. Now coming to install Docker install, like similar to what I have done. Like if you see the first script curl command, that code is that has been written by me. Means in that command I have simply configured, like using this command I was able to install or configure local inside my computer. So same thing, like similar way, like the Docker has also provided their script.
You are now muted.
Okay, guys. So everybody done this step. Siba, have you completed that step, or still you are doing? Okay, fine. So if you see it here, installation is already done. By the way, they have already provided this help. In our case, we are using Ubuntu. So we may have to provide the your user in case of your user, we may have to use Ubuntu system. So for that, I have already added. See here, you may have to add. You may have to run this command. Reason behind it, why I'm using this one. If I write exit, if I write docker ps minus a, see here, you are getting this kind of error. Getting permission denied docker socket. In order to do this, you may have to run this command sudo user, means we may have to add user group, user inside our docker group. So you may have to run this one. Now, what is the purpose of adding user? See, Bijendra, can you see this error? So in order to avoid this error, means without sudo, I should write docker ps minus a. So now we have added the docker user. No problem. So you can ignore it. After that, you may have to write like this one. Now if I write like this one, I didn't get any error. Just by providing this two command, this error gone. So that's the reason we need to perform this step. Like this. Now is that clear, guys? Yeah. So you are creating. So you are creating a group for Docker and making the Ubuntu user. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So guys, everybody is getting this kind of error. Okay, so guys, if you have already done this step, simply perform this one. That's it. This is what the step that we have to configure for Docker for in Linux. After that, if you want to install it in your MacBook, you can perform these steps one by one. For now, we will be using this one only, means like one to only. Later we can think about that one step. So now, if you have already done this step, simply clone this project. Clone. Now go to CD Docker tips. Now CD use case one. CD user case one. Okay, so now we may have to perform some step. See, user case one is nothing but a kind of this one is very simple website, HTML website, that we are going to deploy it using Docker container. Okay, now coming to this one, see here, if you see the script, these are the steps that we may have to perform. First step is, see here what I have written. In order to build your Docker container, Docker image, you may have to run like this one: Docker build -t your Docker image name, dot means the location where your Docker file exists. So this is the first command. Using it, you may be able to create your Docker image from your code. Okay, now coming to the this one file. See, in order to create Docker image, you may have to have Docker file available in your code. So now let's see what exactly Docker file it has written. So in the Docker file, can you see the first line what I have written? HTTPD latest. By the way, anyone can explain to me what exactly this means to us? Anyone?
You are now unmuted. You are now muted.
Docker image tag. What do you mean by Docker image tag? I mean, this is what the showing, but what exactly this means? Means what is the advantage of using this one? Okay, so I guess it means from Apache server running the environment. So you were creating. Okay, I guess it means to start latest Apache server. Okay, so if you have written like this one, let's go to their hub.docker.com. Okay, and then I'll be searching this version, HTTPD. So this is the official document for HTTPD, and we are using latest tag. So this is the tag, latest tag. So by technically, whatever the code that we have, we are using it here. Means this means whatever the steps that has been written. Okay, let's click this one and see. If you see this file, this means okay. Let me go to their file. If you see here, so these are the steps that we are performing. Means technically, if you write just one line, you may not have to write all this 50 line again. Now is it clear? Means whatever the step that you are performing here, same thing you can do it via providing a single line. So what other value can be, means what are the other values that can be there? Okay, I'll come to one by one. After that, once you have performed this step, once you have write this one, that means these are the lines. You may not have to write these things here again. It would consider all this 15 line in the single command. That is clear. After that, see here, I have added this one, label is equal to maintainer. Means it is just giving the idea like who is the owner of this, who is the creator of this Docker image. Like said, if you see here, last pushed by this one. If you see more detail about this Docker file, you would find there is some see here, someone must have created this one, and they can provide their name, their email or something like this. After that, what we are doing here, we are copying this file from this location. Where is this location? This location is here. We are copying this code to user local Apache http://pickle. This is where we are putting the code. Okay, now at the end, we are copying this one, http config file user local Apache config. Now you can see the config file that we have already added here. So again, what exactly they are doing? They are performing server root, listen port 80, and these are some kind of configuration that we have. See, by the way, guys, see here, this is the important concept. Like, you may have to define where is your root location of your project. So if you are using Apache, most of the time we have used Nginx. In Nginx, this step was very simple, but in case of Apache, this step might be little difficult and a little bit something different. So you may you can, in order to get all the information, you can go to their official website and you can get all the information like what would be the default configuration for HTTPD and all. And after that, you can customize it as per their requirement. So for now, I have already done it for you, sir. So this is what you will have to configure. See, whatever the uncomment file that you will have to look into it. Even though if you don't understand how it works now, you have to simply update it few stuff and it will work. Few stuff that include like this one, you may have to put server admin, denied all, directory. Okay, now coming to this one. So what we have done, we have provided that information like this is the location where our project should exist. Factor learn. So and see factor simple. So this is what the I have added HTML, CSS. So it is just a static website. If you download it and if you open it, you would be able to find that a static website. This is nothing but a kind of website, a static website. And using Nginx, you are able to get all the informations here. Okay, so this is what we have done here in the Docker file. What we did, we simply added HTTPD location, reference location. After that, we provided this maintainer. After that, we added this code, our code into this location, and at the end, we also added HTTPD configuration file to here. So what happened by using this one? So technically, we are able to create our Docker image. Once a Docker image will be created, we can run it anywhere. So let's perform this activity one by one. A script I have already written for you. So simply run this command. Go inside home test. So use case one. I run this one. So what will happen? It will see here. What exactly they are doing? Step 1. So total. See, can you see why it is showing step 4? Because these are the steps that we are performing. If you go to Docker file, we might have first step, second step, third step, fourth step. That's why it is showing step 4. So step 1 is done because we have already cloned this. We have pulled this Docker image. Step 2 was just provide the information about who is creator of this one. Step 3 means we copy the file from here to this location, and step 4 means we copy the HTTPD file to this location. So guys, is that clear? What are the steps we have done? Is that clear to you guys? Running anywhere means anywhere. Yeah, of course. If you have the Docker environment, you can run this project by using single command. Hmm? Okay, now in order to run this project, I may have to perform this step. So first step was to create a Docker container. Now you can get the informations like what are the Docker image I have. So if you run this one, so you'd find that Docker. So just now you have created an image that is called my HTTPD. If you see, the file is 138 MB initial file, you added one MB file. That's why it is showing 139 MB, and you created it 2 days ago. The image, whatever the image you have created, HTTPD, that was created 8 days ago, and they have added this image like this. So now I have our own image. Now let's run this command. Okay, I'll show you how it will work. If I run this one, okay, now 4 times 5. I may have to enable this one. How come 8 days ago? Okay, this means this Docker. Can you see? Last was 9 days ago. It means this is the time they are showing like this one. So although this Docker has been created by this person, it says like they have updated Docker image 9 days ago. So this is the information that we are getting here. So this is a security group I have. I may have to enable port 5 times 4. Sorry, port 5555. Now if I am able to access this one, this is what my IP address is. Your this HTML website is running. See how easy it is. Means you may not have to install anything. Each and everything is pre-installed by in that environment. Simply you will have to run it, and you will be able to you will be able to serve your website using single line. How can we check what are the app software installed in this app? Okay, so that for that you can also do the same. See, I have already added using this command. See, if you run this one, docker exec -it container id bin bash. So using this one, you will be able to go inside this. So see, this Docker image has been created. Okay, now if I need to go inside this Docker container, simply copy this ID, click it here. See, now I am inside this one. So now you are inside this Docker container. You can easily find what are the available software that are available inside this Docker container. What is the question, Vijendra? Is what the same question that you are that I have explained it right now, or was it something different? Okay, once we are inside Docker, how can you? Once we are inside Docker, how to check what are the apps installed? Okay, so tell me one thing. How you will be able to understand what are the software that are installed in your Ubuntu system, the current system what you are talking about? How you will be able to find? Let's say uh, I will know because that's my system, and so okay. So if you think like this one, but this container is copied, okay. In that case, you may have to perform this system. See, here what we have done, we have taken the reference of HTTP latest. So that means if you want to know what are the software that has been installed, you may have to, this one, debug this Docker image. So in order to get this Docker image, so these are the files, Docker files that are available. So if you see it properly, what exactly we are doing here, they are installing Apache like this one. So in that case, you can see only they have installed Apache. That's it. Other than that, they have not installed anything. So this way you can understand what are the software that has been installed into this one. So you'll have to always take the reference from where this Docker image has been created. Are you doing it by yourself, or you have taken some reference? If you have taken some reference, definitely you should know what are the steps that has been considered while creating this Docker image. Am I able to answer your question? Okay, so guys, everybody understood this concept? What about Ashok? Is that clear to you? Perfect. So this was the very basic concept. Now I'll be doing each and everything one by one. In the script itself, all the steps that has been written. So first step, what we did, we simply perform this step. By using this step, I was able to create my Docker container. Let me exit from here. You can see it here. By using this command, I was able to create my Docker image. Okay, once the Docker image is created, okay, now once the Docker image is created, next step to identify what are the Docker images that are available in this system. So using this command. Okay, now if you want to know what are the Docker, what are the different image that has been added. So the step would be very simple. Docker inspect and ID. See here. So although it's look like very difficult to understand, but overall you can get an idea, like it is nothing but a kind of layers. Can you see at the top, at the bottom, we are having total layer of 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Now if I use this one, they have 1 2 3 4 total 5 images. So now compare this one with this one. So you would find what are the additional layer that I have added. 6836 BC 821A. So it seems like these are the two layers that has been added. So guys, did you understand what happened? like this two layer is nothing but the way we have performed these steps. Like we created this Docker image just because of this error. This step, first step was this one, second step was this one. So these are the two steps that we added at the top of this one. So initially they were having total 5 layer. Now, sorry, they were having 4 layer. Just because of we added two different steps, it become total number of layers equal to 6. Initially it was 2 4, initially it was 5. So now the total number of error become 7. So I have 5 and 7. Yeah, of course I have also 5 and 7. 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, in my case also, I also have total 7 layer. So initially, like this one, they had 5 layer. Now after performing installing this step, it becomes 7 layer into this one. So this is how it is working. Means Docker is nothing but okay. Let me show you the Docker image. So if you see here, this is how it is working. Means you have host OS. Host OS means in our case it is Ubuntu 18.04. At Ubuntu 18.04, we have added Docker containers, Docker engine. I would say we have installed Docker engine. At the top of it, we are installing app 1, app 2, app 3. So technically, what are the properties that have means they can perform any activity by this one. Means their host, it is independent of host OS. But in case of virtual machine, like this application 1, application 2, application 3, they will be dependent upon guest OS. So best example of this one, like virtual machine is nothing but a kind of EC2 instance. If you are using EC2 instance, technically they are virtual machine. In case of this one, once you have the EC2 instance like this one, host OS, at the top of it, if you want to install different Docker container, that is your this kind of combination is called Docker container. So guys, is that clear, guys? Using this diagram, difference between Docker container and a virtual machine, how it is different from traditional, operating system. don't need any dependency and binary to run this application. Yeah, of course, you can see here, means guest OS totally depend upon host OS. But in case of app, this app could be of OS like Ubuntu OS. So technically, in host OS, you can add another independent OS. Means, so what we can do here, in you already have operating system of Ubuntu. Inside Ubuntu, you can install, let's say you can install Windows as well. You can install CentOS, you can install Fedora, or n number of operating system you can install at the top of your host OS system. So it would be independent of this one. That's the reason I was telling, like, if you want to, you can use VirtualBox. In case of VirtualBox, you will be creating different application. But if you want, if you don't want to use VirtualBox, like operating system like this one, VM kind of stuff, then you can work as a Docker container as well. Means you can convert your Docker, your Window machine, your Window computer to CentOS using Docker container. Guys, is that clear? Okay, now coming to this one. So what we have learned so far, we have learned like how to create Docker image. Once the Docker image created, in order to get the list of Docker image, we may have to run like this one, Docker images. If I need to understand how many layers we have in the particular Docker image, that can be done using Docker inspect and image ID. Now coming to this one. So this is the command that I have run. So the first step is Docker run -itd. I means interactive mode, T means terminal, D means detachable mode, and P means host port. So you can see here what we are doing here, docker run -itd name is equal to my HTTP container one port. So inside port that are 80, outside port that are 4 times 4 times 5, and this container should be created from where? It should be created from this Docker image, like this one. So these are the container information. These are the image information. From where I should create this Docker image. So this is what the line we have to run. First, as I told you, I means interactive mode, T means terminal, and D means detachable mode. The same image can run into, yeah, of course, you can do any number of stuff you want. So this is what same thing we are doing right now. So this one is done. Now let's run this command. So this will what happen, same Docker image we have, it would be run by run in another port, and I'm running it here again. In that case, what is happening? So here we have defined the port number. If you not define the port number, what will happen? It will randomly select the port number. Can we do vice versa also? So the same image can do two container. What do you mean by vice versa? Can you please explain me what is it the vice versa means? I mean same container and two images. Same container and two images. How it will be possible? Container is came from image. Means if you have the one image, you can replicate as a multiple. You can replicate and run as a multiple containers. But but one container cannot have the multiple image. So I think Siva, I think it is clear to you like how this thing works. Yeah, you can say container are, of course it is totally depend upon Docker image. Docker image is nothing but a kind of software or a reference. If you have already installed each and everything, if you have simply or installed it, simply you may have to take the screenshot of this one, or simply you will have to replicate as a multiple system, and you will be able to. Yeah, of course. So vice versa won't be possible. Of course, it won't be applicable. So what is the advantage of running same image in two containers? Okay, same image two containers. Of course, there is advantage. Tell me one thing. How much time it would take you to create one EC2 instance? Let's say if you have existing, EC2 instance, if you have existing snapshot, less than a minute. Okay, fine. Let's say it would take around 50, 60. I don't think so. Less than a minute would work. At least it would take at least 1 or 2 minutes to stabilize all, because it is not just you may have to uh, install this this one different, means in order to install different software it might take time, so at least 2 minutes. But if you want to replicate with as a docker image, it hardly takes 1 or 2 seconds, that's it. So this is one advantage, means within second or two you will be able to replicate that steps. Of course, like all the Docker images and all, they are totally depend upon what kind of operating system that are available. Yeah, of course, image will help build container very fast. Means whatever the steps we are doing inside our Docker image, they will save all these steps, and of course they will create a step. They will create a code according to your steps, whatever the step you have provided. Once you have the ready-made the code and all, so you can simply run it anywhere. In case of this server, like, definitely you will be able to run it, and within a second you will be able to replicate data steps again. Okay, so now coming to this image. So what we have done, same Docker image we run into three different port number. If you are not providing port number minus, if you write capital P, what will happen? It will select the any random port. Internal port would be this one, like 80. External port would be any port. As you have not provided it, it will use any kind of port. If you want to see how many Docker containers which are actually in running condition, the step is very simple. You may have tried like this one. See here, as of now, there are total 6 Docker images are running. Docker container, I would say. and it is running on three different ports. BRB means it shows three. Yeah, of course. It has. How come? How come six then? Azok, I didn't understand. You told six container that why confuse you? Okay. Okay, might be. See, what I was trying to say, like there are total three, this three different Docker containers, Docker container which are running from one different one Docker image. Okay, now if you see here, if I run minus itd means d means represent discharge mode, t means terminal. So if you're not writing this, what will happen? It will run your application in the foreground, not in the back. So if I access this one, see here, if you have not specified this one, like IP address, sorry, port number. In case of this one, they have randomly selected value. The port is 32768. Okay, so now coming to this one. Okay, so now in order to see this one, this is the two steps. So all the container which are running, so all the container which are running and stopped using this command. If you want to inspect the container ID the way we did it, you did for Docker image, you can perform the same step here. So Docker inspect and your container ID. So container ID is in case this one. See all the relevant information that has been written here. Uh, that has been written in case of Docker container, you will be able to get it like this one. Okay, now if you want to see logs, so the step is very simple. You can simply write the value container ID and you'd get the logs. Docker logs and container IDs. Let me run it. Okay, so I think this is what the message that we are getting from our logs. Perfect. Now let's say if I refresh this one and all, so I should be getting this kind of logs as well. If I have refreshed this one, okay. So now coming to this one, if you want to stop your Docker container, the command is very simple. Docker stop. Let's say if I have write like this one, Okay, now if I need to stop on any one of them, this, let's say this one. Now if I okay guys, so this is the stop command. After that, if you want to restart again, simply you may have tried docker start and the container id. If you want to remove, if you want to go inside docker container, after that you may have to see, this is the command that you may have to perform. If I write like this one, so what will happen, it should give the id. After that we have this one, means if you want to remove all the docker image, you may have to run this one. If you want to remove all the docker containers, you may have to run like this one. If you want to stop all the docker containers, you may have to run this one. So this way, one by one, you can perform these activities by yourself. So guys, is that clear to guys? Everybody understood like what are the different steps that has been written here? Ashok has already understood. What about Shiva? Rahul and Vijendra, did you understand? Also, okay. Okay, fine. So that's it for basic Docker containers, basic Dockers. In the tomorrow, we will be discussing more about